Wide load is an option too. And a lot of people really resisted this early on. They thought, tiny house has to be 8'6" or even less, right? They're originally building like Jay Schaefer's first one inside the wheel well. So that was like 7'6" or something. It's a very small structure. So you can go wide loads and you get all kinds of advantages from that. The design is easier. You've got a wider home to work with, which is great. You can get more on the first floor, which is great. You can eliminate the need for a loft entirely, so everything can be on the first floor. I can say that having lived in a loft now for, well, I'm allowed out of the loft, but when I'm in there, it's small. It takes some getting used to. And it's totally fine 99% of the time. And then I was playing hockey, and yes, for those of you who live locally who don't know, there is a year-round hockey rink in Medford. People are always amazed, like, really? But there is. And I was playing hockey, and I got checked into the boards and went down weird, and I tweaked my knee. And for like 2 weeks, living in a loft was horrible. The idea of having to like get on that hurt knee and work my way across, and I thought, you know what? Hopefully I'm going to get older, and so when I get older, I'm not going to want to be on my knees. And so that became like, that was that first moment for me of like, oh, I get that. Okay, maybe a loft isn't a permanent thing for me. So this would eliminate that. Last year at the Jamboree, my favorite house of all the houses, there was like 65 houses or 50 houses, or a lot of houses to walk through. And my favorite house there was built by a group of Buddhist, are they Buddhist monks? Yeah, Buddhist monks. 3 or 4 women, 12-foot wide house. I can't remember how long it was, but there was a step up to the couch and living area, and then the bed pulled out from underneath that step up. So it was very compact, but also really open. It felt wide and spacious. It didn't feel like you walked in and felt crunched. And I really, really liked that house. And so they pay the wide load permits. It's $35 per state or something like that to travel across states. Depending on how wide you are, the requirements change. So when you first go, I think it's up to 10 feet. You can have your standard permit, and it's easy. And you don't even have to have pilot cars. You get above 10 feet, and again, I don't know where these cutoffs all are, but you can find all this information. AAA has a great site that you can go through and find a lot of this information. So let's say from 10 to 12, you now have to have a pilot car in the front. And let's say it's 12 to 13 feet. Now you have to have a pilot car in front and a pilot car in back. And if it's up to 16 feet, you have to have pilot car, and you can only travel on restricted hours, on restricted roads. So basically it's like you can go 200 miles on this road between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. and that's it. Then you got to just pull off and just wait until the next 3 a.m. and then you're back on the road. So it's a very slow way to make your way across the country. But most people aren't going. 16 feet. That's wide. That's twice your average car lane. That's like a house, right? That's a big house going down the road. So, and I'm clear that that's not a tiny house, but that's the idea is that it could work to bring it down the road like that. So that is an option as well. And it's something that I think more people are taking advantage of. And again, you get to hire it out, right? You're not going to be the one moving a wide load most times. So you don't have to worry about permitting and all that. You just find someone who's licensed and they take care of it. They get all the permits. They tell you this is what it's going to cost to move from here to there. And Gabrielle, you can help me on the cost. Remember what it was? Was it from here to Portland?
From here to Portland was $800, one way.
Yeah. So as long as you're not coming back from Portland, it's under $1,000. So $800 to get to Portland, and that's everything. That's all your fees, all your permits, everything. It's hiring it out. It's the whole shebang. So that's not too bad in terms of, if you're doing it and you're in a U-Haul, you're going to pay $600 in fuel anyway between here and Portland. It's not cheap. So it goes pretty well.